Good morning, good Sunday morning. Let's talk about Dark Age of Man local playtest recap. Some sessions are good. Everybody shows up. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody participates. There's lots of laughs, lots of joy, lots of grand adventures, right? Those are good sessions. And some sessions are bad, right? Some guys don't show up. Sometimes energy isn't great at the table. The GM's a little off his game, or books were left at home, or players are preoccupied. Those are the kind of the bad sessions that you go, that wasn't a great night. And then there's the ugly sessions, right? This is where there's a fight between players. This is where GMs and players get into an argument over the rules and you break out rule books. Or this is one of those sessions where it gets ugly and somebody gets drunk in the session, or somebody shows up drunk, or somebody flips a table over, or throws stuff, or walks out, storms out. Those are the ugly sessions that we see in our hobby, and we've all had all of these things, right? And then there's the final one, the no session at all, and that is unfortunately what occurred last night. This was supposed to be a Dark Age of local playtest with a recap today about that game, and unfortunately only Charles, my client, showed up. We waited about an hour and 10 minutes, about 70 minutes waiting for them. He attempted both phone calls and text to all the other guys. Corey is his cousin. Nothing, no response at all from any of these guys. So we basically, I went home to my wife, watched a movie and had dinner, and he went on home or wherever he went. He was incredibly embarrassed, I think. He was a little bit, he apologized more than once. Corey's his cousin. The other three guys are friends from high school or college. I think Charles is 22. His friends are roughly the same age. I think a couple of these guys might have been 18 or 19. Anyway, I came away feeling really bad for him because I think maybe they pranked him. We're both concerned that maybe they were in a car accident or something because there was no response from anybody. But the fact that we didn't get any response from anybody at all as he tried to find them, get them, makes me think he was pranked, which includes me, although they don't know me, so they wouldn't be pranking me, right, so to speak, unless they were just, What's weird about it is they did show up at the library on Thursday, and we did talk about the game, we did talk about the world, and they did make characters. So it's really interesting that they would go to all that effort and then not show up last night. So anyway, no recap of Dark Age of Man local playtest, unfortunately, because we didn't play. Also, I see Charles Thursday afternoon for his workout, so hopefully Charles will have more information as to why these guys did what they did. And again, we'll hope that it wasn't a car accident or something, disastrous. I have a feeling they just flat, I don't know. When I was 18, I would have never done something like this to somebody. 19, 20, I would have never done something like this. So I don't know what's in the mindset of these young guys around here, but it could have been a prank. It could be they just said, screw them, we're not going to do that on our Saturday night. I was young once, Saturday night. Hey, let's go to the movie, and before you know it, you're off on the movie, or they decide to go to a party, They are young men who very often, Saturday night, I expected one or two of them not to show up. But this was weird. So, anyway, I don't know how many more playtests we're going to do. I was really looking forward to this for two reasons. One, 5 people at the table in person, so it's kind of nice to get that in-person flavor, but 5 actual characters all in this system. And the second is most of them have no gaming experience, right? I think 2 of them have played some version of D&D at some point, right? That's it. So I was really hoping to see how absolute noobs to role-playing kind of took to the game and took to these ideas. Those things are not going to be known now. Really, our game doesn't require any more playtesting. The math, I've sat down here with dice and just did math. What would it look like if a party of 4 were facing a lycanthrope or a dragon, and they were all repute 10 characters, and and I've done what happens if they run into, if an entry-level party runs into a lycanthrope, and it all balances out, works great. So there's really no math playtesting here. There could be some minor hiccups, but again, the great thing about tabletop games is people can fix them, right? If there's something in our rules that was a typo, and we had listed the wrong damage. You know, a GM can say, dude, that's clearly bad, let's just change that. So the great thing about actual dice and charts and tabletop stuff is if something's broken, GMs can fix it. You know, players can get together, they can agree to fix something in a rulebook. And that's what's so great about non-video games. When video games are broken, dude, they're broken. You can't fix them, right? I mean, there's just no way to say, damn, that bug, it locks up the Witcher on that mission, crashes every time. There's nothing I can do to fix it. Or, wow, I get to level 10 in Witcher, I'm killing everything without any competition, and I can't change it. They have to put a patch in to make the game more difficult or something, right? But that's not true of tabletop games. That's one of the great things about tabletop games. We can change them, we can tweak them, we can fix them. So I'm not real concerned about actual play testing of the math. It's just not that complicated. Anyway, I learned another valuable lesson with the good, the bad, the ugly, and the no-show. I probably won't invite strangers in the future unless they are gamers, right? Because at least if I invite strangers who are diehard role-playing players, I at least know they like to role-play. I at least know they've done this on a Saturday night before. But I will not invite strangers who have no experience to a game session probably anymore. Not like this. I mean, let's put it this way. One stranger joining 4 guys at our group, or one stranger joining a group of experienced players, that's one thing, right? If they don't show up, we got a game. We still have 4 people who want to play. But this was an error on my part. You know, I asked Charles and his cousin Corey. They found 3 other buddies, came to the session 0 character gen session, pre-session talk. Everybody there was aware it was at that time, at that place. So if they claimed they didn't know where we were at, or if they went to the library and they should have come to my studio, maybe somebody didn't hear that. So, and here's the thing: I had already gone through what I probably will experience that I'm going to have to deal with. One, these are all young men with phones, so we spent session 0. They were all texting, checking their phones periodically. I knew come session time I was going to have to deal with these people on their phones, but I wasn't. Let's put it this way: I'm smart enough to know this is how they communicate with their friends. It's how they communicate with their family. It's how they communicate with their girlfriends. It's how they communicate with their employers. I'm not going to tell them put their phones away. I would ask them to mute their phones and pay attention, you know. But I get that they're going to probably get a ding and want to check something, make sure it's not mom going, "Where the hell are you at?" or it's not their girlfriend saying, you know, let's meet after your game or whatever, right? So I was aware that I was going to be dealing with these young men and their phones. I wasn't prepared to fight them. I was also nervous about them bringing alcohol. I was going to have to kill that, right? I was, you know, nervous that they might bring some MJ and some alcohol because they joked on Thursday at the library that wouldn't it be fun, right? I kind of gave them the hint that ain't how we're going to be doing this, gentlemen. This isn't a party. This is a play test of a game. And maybe that's why they didn't show. They're like, dude, if he ain't going to let me smoke, he ain't going to let me drink, F him. I have a feeling that might be playing a big role. I don't know. But I was anticipating them showing up with booze or already a little inebriated, which would be crazy at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or the evening. But you don't know. I don't know, right? I'm 52. I'm not 18 anymore, right? So I was already kind of prepared. How am I going to deal with this, you know? Turns out 70 minutes of our lives wasted, a little more. I went down a little earlier to get the tables and everything set up in the studio and get everything ready to go. This was an hour and a half of my life, utterly wasted, not counting session 0, which was 2 hours of our lives totally wasted. So for them to go out of their way to spend 2 hours of their Thursday doing that and then not show up to the game is completely bizarre to me. But it is what it is, right? Oh well, anyway, point is, we've all had, I guess part of this video is, hey, even at 52, we've seen everything. There's always going to be that weird thing, right? There's always still going to be, no matter what, right, you're going to have just weird experiences, and that's okay. I was a little irritated last night. I was kind of angry last night. You know, I came home and wrote Dell, well, that was a bust. You know, I was a little pissed off. But, you know, I had dinner, sat down with my wife, and watched a little Rockford Files, you know, 2 or 3 episodes of the old Rockford Files, and, you know, got perspective, didn't take it personally. I realized, listen, it says more about them than it does about me. It's not personal, right? Even if they came and they loved it and they told me I was the greatest guy, even that's not personal. That's about them, not about me. But either way, obviously I was a little perturbed, and I cooled off a little bit before I made this video. And so this morning I'd hoped to be a recap about the experience, a recap about what had transpired, a recap about maybe feedback from the players about the experience. Unfortunately, none of those things were achieved. All I can really share with the subscribers is that here's an experience that sucks when nobody shows up. And, you know, that's really all I can share. And, you know, it is what it is. So, all right. Everybody have a great Sunday and have a good week. Scott is running Savage Worlds for Dell and I. I've invited all the guys in our normal OSR Joth group. They are all free. Any of those guys are free to join us Thursday night to be in that Savage Worlds game. I think Scott's kind of anticipating maybe 3 or 4. However, for sure, Dell and I will be playing characters in a Savage World game. We don't know who the characters are. Scott's going to give us those characters. We don't even know the genre. We don't know the subject. So we're literally going to hit the table with raw characters we're picking up first time, and he's going to launch. And I love it. I love the idea of us kind of finding out, here's our character, and guys, you're in 1941 Berlin, and you're spies, you know, you're French resistance spies. I mean, dude, who knows what Scott's going to come up with? It could be all kinds of badass. So I know this, Scott's a great guy. Scott's published his own OSR. He's published some Savage World modules. He's published this brilliant deck of chase cards. Here, you can get all that stuff on DriveThruRPG, and Scott is a master at Savage World, so I'm really looking forward to this experience. Once I have this experience, I'm also going to be a little more comfortable trying to run a few non-fantasy sessions of my own. I'm planning on using Savage Worlds for non-fantasy stuff until Dell and I write our next game, which who knows what genre that might be. Thank you. Bye.